It is my pleasure to introduce the students of Ingram B. Lacey, Bria, Lucy, Stea, Harrison, and Lillian, who will lead us in the flag salute, read the land acknowledgement, and provide highlights of their school. Right in front? Yeah. Right up there. All right. Okay.
Look, gotta use the microphone.
Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, I'm Stea Fabiani Vargas.
And I'm Harrison Foster.
We are students from 6th grade leadership.
Sixth grade leadership is a class where students learn how to grow their leadership skills such as being confident, respectful, self-aware, and effectively communicating.
Together we learned what it meant to be a leader and what people want in a leader and what it means to be a leader to us.
For example, a leader is someone who is in charge and responsible for a group of people. A good leader has empathy and open ears for everyone. It is important to be a leader who is flexible, compassionate, and willing to devote time to helping others.
We focus on building our presentation skills and how to be confident in front of our peers through assignments like Bulldog of the Year, how-to presentations, and presenting our community service.
We completed 2 major projects, Community Service Project and Legacy Project.
The goal of completing the community service project was to help our local community on our own time. Students completed a wide range of community service, such as beach cleanup, helping teachers after school, and knitting blankets for shelter animals.
The Legacy Project was a class effort to fix an issue we had on our campus. We created a public service announcement highlighting the need for students to respect our bathrooms. This video was played in every homeroom class.
In closing, leadership taught me how to be a leader,
How to be respectful towards others,
confidence,
and the ability to be a leader here at Ingram B. Lacey Middle School.
Thank you.
So this is the land acknowledgement. The Pacifica School District acknowledges that we gather on the unceded ancestral homelands of the Ramaytush Ohlone people.
As guests, we humbly extend our gratitude to the Ramaytush Ohlone elders and community. We recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland, and we affirm their sovereign rights as First People.
As the original stewards of this land, the Ramaytush Ohlone understand the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of maintaining harmony with nature. Likewise, Pacifica School District commits to teaching our school community how to be responsible stewards of this land.
So now about our leadership class. So we are some of last trimester's leadership students. I'm Bria.
I am Lucy.
I'm Lily.
And in our leadership class, our main focuses were a passion project, which was individual, betterment of ourselves, and a class-wide community service project. Our chosen community service project was to focus on communicating how unsafe our beaches are and showing how to be safe at them. We worked all trimester to create a beautiful brochure that will be passed out at local businesses and shown at schools for students, parents, and locals and tourists to look at. Now let's dive into the results of our project. Our project has been very successful with a story on Cron News, the ability to present our project to the police station, and sharing our project through assemblies at elementary schools in our district. We have a GoFundMe, which raised a lot of money to print our brochures, and last but not least, we have a brochure on the IBL Bulldogs website.
Our brochure was completely designed by students. We tried to create an approachable and simple tool for locals and tourists. As you can see, it has a lot of color along with a lot of landmarks. For example, we have Taco Bell, The Pier, and Nick's. We named all of the beaches and showed their safety through color-coded surfboards. On the back, we have a photo of our class along with our motto, Safety by 7, because, well, We are seventh graders.
Even though our trimester has ended, we are determined to keep this project and our mission going. We are starting an after-school program at IBL, which will be open to all students to come up with more ideas for beach safety in our town and beyond. We hope to encourage Pacifica to implement a flag system along our coastline, so locals and tourists can see if the ocean is safe on a daily basis. We want to educate as many people as possible so that nobody is ever harmed by the ocean in our town. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Barbara, would you take roll?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Good for
Trustee
you.
Burdell,
Here.
trustee Burkini, trustee Doggett is absent, trustee Hart, trustee Villalobos.
Okay, the district records the audio portion of the meetings. All recordings are kept in the superintendent's office for 30 days and are available during that time period for inspection by members of the public on district equipment without charge. All public comment must be made in person unless a board member will attend remotely or as otherwise specified on board agenda. Speakers wishing to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items, please complete a request card with your name, address, and the item number and submit it to the board president or the superintendent. You will be called to address the board and may speak for up to 3 minutes. Please note the public is welcome to provide comment to the board. Remarks are limited to 3 minutes unless extended or limited by a vote of the board. A maximum of 20 minutes, unless extended by the board, is allocated for each subject discussed. And the Brown Act open meeting regulations under which the board must operate do not allow board members to comment on non-agenda items for information that you may bring up that is not on the agenda. Additionally, no action can be taken. However, the board may give direction to staff following a comment. Approval of the agenda. I want to request the removal of item 11B as the presentation will be scheduled for a future meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with item 11B removed? Do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, item 7, reporting out on closed session topics. Item 4H, conference with legal counsel. Okay, on October 22nd, regular board meeting. As to item number 4H, a majority of the board voted 4-0 to approve the compromise and general release agreement to resolve claims against the district in exchange for funding compensatory education, which has incurred or will incur during the 2025-26 and 26-27 school years in the amount not to exceed $13,370. Okay. And in closed session today, item 4F, the board voted 4-0 to approve the comprehensive school safety plans and security of school facilities, the tactical portion. Okay, approval of the consent agenda, item number 8. All items on the consent agenda will be approved with one motion, which is not debatable, and which requires unanimous vote for passage. If any member of the board, the superintendent, or the public so requests, any item shall be removed from this section and placed on the regular order of business following approval of the consent agenda. Okay, are there any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion to consent agenda.
Okay, do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, item 9, superintendent and board special recognition. Speaker, Principal Kathy Alderson.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet members, and Superintendent Bowman. I am excited to introduce Astrid Lozado. Astrid is a former Ocean Shore student, is currently completing her bachelor's degree in psychology at the University of San Francisco. After many years away, she has returned to Pacifica School District as a Pacifica School volunteer to give back to the community that helped shape her. Since the first semester, Astrid has been volunteering 2 days a week in Ms. Cotter's English classroom at IBL, where she has made a remarkable impact on students. She consistently enters the room with a bright smile, a positive attitude, and an eagerness to support every learner. Astrid has worked one-on-one with students during reading conferences, individual work periods, and small group activities. Her support has been especially meaningful for our bilingual students. She has been able to help strengthen their confidence and shape their comprehension skills. Astrid's contributions reflect an incredible passion for education and a strong commitment to uplifting the next generation of Pacifica learners. We can't thank her enough for her time supporting our students. Oh, no.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 10, communications, LSEA.
Good evening. My name is Robin Foster, and I am on the LSEA bargaining team and a kindergarten teacher at Ortega. LSEA is happy to see on the board agenda the process to begin work on the play structures at various sites. Thank you to the parent community for advocating and getting that going. We finished our first trimester of a new report card that we've been advocating for and working on for a while. There were some glitches that are to be expected, but all in all, it went really well. LSEA has received education from the CTA in regards to charter schools. CTA hosted a meeting just for union members, which was open to all CTA members and in San Mateo County who may be impacted by the potential Ocean Light Charter. CTA also hosted a meeting for community members. Thank you to all who attended and understand the adverse impacts this charter would have on our students and staff. Last week, we had another bargaining session with the district, and we're moving along slowly, but we'll be meeting again in December. Thank you.
Okay, CSEA.
Good evening, trustees, Superintendent Bowman, and Cabinet. My name is Nicole Ortega, and I am the second vice president of CSEA Chapter 128. As you know, our chapter has been at the negotiations table since August, working towards a new 3-year contract. I want to remind the board that our contract expired on June 30th, 2025, and we still have not received a counteroffer on salary from the district. In most districts, this issue was settled last spring. Meanwhile, our members are finding it increasingly difficult to keep up with the rising cost of living with each passing month. We need the district to treat this matter with the urgency it deserves. CSEA Chapter 128 remains committed to reaching a fair and timely agreement. We urge the district to bring a meaningful salary proposal to the table so we can move forward together. Our members show up every day for our students, our staff, and our community. They deserve a district that shows up for them. We ask you to prioritize the people who help keep our schools running. Please remember that delays in addressing fair compensation hurt workers and undermines trust. We need a salary counterproposal now so we can make real progress and secure a contract that reflects the value of our members. On a lighter note, CSEA Chapter 128 wants to recognize the hardworking classified employees in our district office. These employees continue to serve our school community while transitioning the district office to its new location. We celebrate their dedication and hard work. CSEA will continue to shine a spotlight on Pacifica School District's wonderful classified employees. We believe that the hard work and the dedication and contribution of our valued classified employees should be celebrated and rewarded. Union proud, union strong. Thank you. Good night.
People wishing to address the board. I don't have any yellow cards.
I don't.
Yeah, okay. All right, we don't have anyone this evening. Board Superintendent Correspondence Communications. Trustee Hart.
Right, sure. Thanks. I had my one-on-ones with Dr. Bowman and attended a library advisory meeting. It was a short meeting. Unfortunately, I missed the month before, but there's some really important stuff happening in our libraries and a need for renovations. I attended the informational meeting organized by Megan Ellsburn and California Teachers Association. It was really informative, and Claire Crawford, Gray Harris, and Kathleen Beebe were there sharing facts about how charter schools impact our school district and other school districts in the state. That's all I got.
I wasn't here at the last board meeting because I was at the San Mateo County Board of Education meeting, listening to the hearing about the charter school, proposed charter school. I also attended the CTA meeting. I had my one-on-ones with Dr. Bowman. And what else? I've just been working a lot on a lot of research and looking at some of our programs like this one, which this program, when I saw the news, it just made me proud to be a board member in Pacifica School District because of what these kids were able to do and what they continue to do. I don't know if you guys know, but last Friday, a 5-year-old and a father passed away going out into the ocean in Monterey. And so I think the work that they're doing is wonderful. And so that makes me really proud to be a board member. That's it.
Let's see. I've had my one-on-one with Carissa also, or Dr. Bowman, and I also attended the community meeting on charter schools that was hosted by LLCA. I did want to take a minute to address and thank the constituents of Pacifica. The last several months have been difficult for our district and our little town. One thing I know about Pacifica is that it's filled with hardworking people who care about our kids and our schools and work toward helping each other rather than tearing each other down. It was encouraging to see that this negative and self-interested effort failed and not one single signature was actually submitted for myself or any of the rest of the board members. I do hope that anyone who is truly interested in serving our community will step up and run in the regular elections. We always need people who are willing to do this work. On a personal note, I want to thank all of the people who reached out to me during this last several months. Everyone from parents that I've known since my kids were in AYSO, PAL, and PGSL, as well as caregivers and teachers that I met at mid-year kindergarten at Sunset Ridge, in the halls of Alamar, as well as friends at Ortega and IBL. Also, to all the constituents who I have never met that also reached out to send kind words and support and gratitude. Please stay, and you're doing a great job, they said. All of your encouragement during this tumultuous time kept me going when I wondered if I should or could. Thank you, Pacifica, for showing who you really are, a community that supports each other and wants the best for our children, a community that understands and believes in the best possibilities for our kids and for each other. There are no perfect solutions and no easy answers when we operate with limited resources. But if we work together and not against each other, we can accomplish great things. Thank you.
Okay, since the last board meeting, my main focus has been several one-on-ones with Dr. Bowman and meetings at least once a week, if not 2 or 3 times a week, regarding workforce housing, which there'll be an update later tonight in this meeting. So that's been the main focus for me since the last board meeting.
Am I allowed to say one more thing? Or is it too late? Did I miss? Okay. I just wanted to give a shout out to our Good News ambassadors, Jenny Godwa, Jean Bellinger, Elizabeth DeMartini, Janine Castaneda, and Shonda Lloyd for signing up to be our Good News ambassadors. Thanks, guys.
So it's been a busy week. I've met with the administrators from multiple schools, cabinet members. We do one-on-ones. I've met with the board of trustees. We've been meeting regarding the workforce housing.
So now that the people in the front can hear this again, I've met with administrators from multiple schools. I've had cabinet members one-on-one. I've also met with the board of trustees. I've been meeting with the workforce housing and also Illuminative Collaborative.
Okay, we're going to go on to item 11, informational items. Pacifica School Volunteers presentation. And the speaker is Michelle Morales Stevenson.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm the president of the board of Pacifica School Volunteers. I've been in this position for about 15 years or so since my daughter graduated from Cabrillo School. Pacifica School Volunteers has been around since 1997. So we're going on about our 28th school year. It was founded by Gail Benton Shoemaker and Claire Harrison to plug a hole they saw in volunteers in the various schools, where some schools had a plethora of parent volunteers and some schools did not. So they recognized an equity issue, and they formulated this idea to bring the Pacifica community into our schools to volunteer, to supplement whatever parental and family volunteering there is. So this is our creed: inspiring learning, connecting community. And if I do this right, it'll go to the next. There we go. Our mission: inspire a love of learning, to help to advance academic performance, promote the well-being of students in the Pacifica School District, and to build community by bringing our community into our schools. As some other speakers have said, this is a great community who we truly care about each other. Our schools are supported, our nonprofits are supported, and PSV is one piece of that puzzle. For the last school year, we placed 28 weekly adult community volunteers in the Pacifica School District classrooms. 18 high school volunteers were placed in classrooms as well. They generally help after school, teachers after school, with whatever projects they need in their classroom. Total PSV volunteering last year averaged about 120 hours per week. This is just for our weekly volunteers. Volunteer placement, I was going to say it's easy, but I don't do it. So our two staff members, our executive director and volunteer coordinator, a district teacher will reach out to PSV and request a volunteer, and our executive director and volunteer coordinator will work with this volunteer, get them live scanned, talk to them skill set, do any kind of training needed, and we will act as matchmakers with the teacher. And also we're there to help if there are maybe any bumps in the road in relationships or communication between teachers and volunteers. So shout out to our two part-time staff members. And I say part-time, I don't know, they accomplish an awful lot considering they are part-time people. And they work very hard with the communication in the schools and reaching out in the community to get volunteers. So our sources of funding, when I first joined the board, it was about 80% grants through various foundations and about 20% through community donations, et cetera. Funders don't like to see that kind of percentage. So the onus was on us to figure out another revenue stream to flip that percentage, with ThinkBridge Summer Camp being our largest source of revenue. I have a slide later on about the details of that. We are also generously supported by the Woodlawn Foundation, Fleischacker Foundation, Atkinson Foundation, community donations. People send us checks, which we really appreciate, and the PSD PTOs provide donations as well, generous donations, recognizing that we are part of the of the puzzle of serving all of our kids. So of which we're very appreciative. Oh, here's my Think Bridge Summer Camp. So Think Bridge Summer Camp, we started in maybe 2015-ish. First through sixth grade students. It takes place at a different PSD school during the summertime, depending on the availability. It has 4 modules in the curriculum. The curriculum was developed by the late Sydney Tyler Parker, a longtime Pacifica School District educator who passed away this year. Sydney also served for a very long time on the board of Pacifica School Volunteers. And I know she was instrumental, along with Ellie Cundiff up at Sunset Ridge, of getting a PSV volunteer almost in every classroom at Sunset Ridge, at least pre-COVID. Sydney graciously allowed PSV to use the Think Bridge curriculum that she had authored a number of years previously. So we are looking forward to a successful camp we're already talking about summer, but it's November. But so that's a big part of our revenue stream and something we rely on, and kind of fills a hole for in Pacifica summer camps. There's lots of sports camps, performing arts camps, and this is a camp with music thinking, games, and STEM lab curriculum, kind of for kids that perhaps, I mean, AYSO camps and Spindrift are fantastic. My daughter did them all, but not all kids are into that. So I think this fills a nice niche, and it supports Pacifica School Volunteers, and Pacifica School Volunteers only exists to serve the Pacifica School District. That's our entire mission. In addition to just what we do, our mission, PSV sets up Read Aloud days at various PSD schools where we get community members to come in and read to classrooms, just come in for an hour or two. We bring in first responders, government officials, business owners, bring the community into the schools. They're show them that they're a valued part of the schools, and together their support with what the schools are doing, I think it multiplies just the good things happening in our schools. The more community involvement we can get, the better for our schools. The volunteer trainings, we'll do periodic literacy trainings, bring in a literacy specialist, like a lunch and learn kind of a thing. A district cleanup, which I believe is a new thing this year, coming on the Martin Luther King Day of Service, where PSV will help with district coordination, just because we have a very large volunteer base. Not just volunteer base, but donor base. So we'll be providing community contacts to bring the community into these days of service. Oceana Senior Exhibits, historically, PSV has partnered with Oceana to bring in community members to be evaluators of the senior exhibits, who sit alongside the students' teachers. And the students work since they're freshmen. I think they pick their topic as freshmen. And it culminates in senior year doing an oral presentation for 30 minutes, which is terrifying. Still terrifying for me. I can't imagine for a 17-year-old. But we bring in the community evaluators who are the teachers are impartial, but they know them, who are impartial third party coming in just to listen and help evaluate and give feedback to the students. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. If you've never done it, please, if you are asked to do it and you can do it, it's just it gives you such hope for the future with our youth. And similar to the IBL kids that just presented, I mean, it just that brochure is amazing. So we like to participate in lots of things. I'm not going to read the teacher testimonials. They're up here. We have 3, but I've heard from teachers. I've been talking to the PTO boards, and a number of teachers have participated in the meetings, and at least one in each, I think, have spoken up about using a PSV volunteer and what a difference it's made in their classroom for their kids. Have 2 caring adults in the classroom, one's available to pull out a struggling reader and work one-on-one. What PSV does is not complicated. It's not magic. It's just common sense. If you have a dedicated adult sitting with a struggling reader and allow them to work with you one-on-one, giving that one-on-one attention, and then the teacher can work with the other 43 million kids in the classroom. I don't know how many kids are in the classroom anymore. My child is 30. I mean, I know at least one of you, we have similar age kids. It's, I guess it is magic because it's so simple. I think a lot of funders we would go to want to see what new thing we've come up with. Oh, we can only fund new programs. There's nothing new. This is age old. Caring adults, caring about kids, helping them with their reading and math. We do have people who help with math as well. Just caring people, right? What do they say? Just one additional caring adult in a child's life can really change their lives. So that's what we do, and I won't get all mushy. But so we have a few teacher testimonials, and it helps our instructors as well. They have a hard job, and they want to be able to give that kind of attention to their students. If you're just one person, you just can't. So I will close with, feel free to contact us. We love to have more volunteers. Always happy to talk to somebody. If anybody has questions about how we operate, we're very transparent. I've been on the board 15 years. We have a number of other long-term board members, 2 are city council members. One, Mike Perez, was former head of PB&R for many, many years. It's a good team, and we're very proud of it. And we look forward to another 28 years of serving PSD. So thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you. Thank you.
Okay, item C, workforce housing update. Love Weisbeck.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Superintendent Bowman. We are here tonight to give you an update on the process that we've been going through to try to get the workforce housing project under construction. So the first item that I want to talk about is the building permitting process. The summary that we issued prior to the meeting noted that we had submitted a response to the plan check comments round 2. I went down to the building department this morning and sat at the front desk to try to find out what the status was. And fortunately or unfortunately, there are a few straggling items that they want to take care of. So they gave me the newest list of the plan check comments that they have. And we started working already today with the architect to make the updates to that. One of the things that you find in plan check is that a lot of things need to be done that are simply bookkeeping issues. They don't really affect construction or the actual drawings, but the plan checkers want everything to be all the I's dotted and T's crossed. So there's a few of those that are still left. So we will work diligently on trying to respond to those as quickly as possible. Another part of the permitting process is redrawing the parcel map for the site as it exists today. Those maps have been redrawn, but they need to be checked. And so the city has hired a third-party plan check organization to review those drawings. And we're in the process of working with the district to get that process underway. There's a fee involved in that. So we're working on getting that fee taken care of right now. There are 3 PG&E contracts that we're dealing with presently. PG&E is becoming our Achilles heel, which is no surprise. The 3 contracts that we really need to get in place over the course of the next 3 or 4 months. The first would be the disconnection of the existing service. That is posing a little bit of an issue because PG&E is a little overwhelmed with work, and with the holidays coming up, their crews are sort of in short supply. So we're working on trying to expedite the disconnection of the service. One of the things is that there's a little bit of city involvement because of a permit that needs to be issued for encroachment because they need to cross Odstat to remove the power. So we're working on trying to expedite that. The second contract we need to deal with is temporary power, and that is in the process of that contract being signed and the fee paid for. So that's in good shape. We're working a little bit diligently on trying to get somebody to install a pad for the new transformer for the temporary power to be installed on as soon as possible, so that doesn't slow down general contractor work. And then the final one will be the power for the project when it's complete, and that is an ongoing issue with PG&E, but there's no issues about the time frame of that. We are going to be officially sort of under construction. Next week on Wednesday, the 26th, we'll be having the construction fencing installed. That'll probably just take a couple of days to secure the site. We have sent a recommendation to the board about the recommendation for the demolition contractor, which we hope there's an action item on the agenda for that tonight. We received 4 bids from a number of demolition contractors. We have the lowest bidder is outlined in the recommendation that we provided, and that's R&B Environmental, and the cost of that is $215,000. With the demolition, there's a number of things because that is the official start of construction that we have to put into place. There are mitigation measures that are required by the conditions of approval for the project. And we've reviewed those in the past, but that's includes biological resource reconnaissance of the site, as well as putting in place a stormwater pollution prevention plan, dust management plan, and a recycling plan. So we'll be working with the selected demolition contractor to finalize all of the paperwork and the application. I went over the application needs with the building department this morning when I visited there. So we think we have everything kind of queued up that we need to do. The demolition is going to be ready to go as soon as PG&E disconnects the building power. That's going to be the trigger for it. So that's an important activity which we're pushing really hard on, and we're calling in as many favors and trying to get the reps at PG&E to expedite getting that project done. Yesterday, we sent out all of the revised information to the 4 general contractors who submitted their qualifications packages. So we are now underway with the second round of the bidding, and that submittal, the drawings, or all of the revised drawings that we're going through permitting, all of the questions that were answered by the design team during the first bidding period, as well as we've added a project labor agreement and phasing plans to the bidding requirements. So that's all underway. The bid date is January 8th, so we hope to have all of the sidewalk questions answered, all of the bids received by the 8th of January, which will then review and come before the board on the 14th of January for the award of the contract. And that will then get us underway with the second phase of the construction after the demolition, which will be the actual construction of the project. So that's what we had to sort of pass on tonight. Is there any questions?
I don't have any questions. I just have a request. When you come back again for another update, can you just put like a new timeline so we can visually see where we're at?
Certainly.
Where it's going to go.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Elizabeth. I need to get that reprinted schedule that we had made so that you can post it. That schedule was issued in a previous board meeting, but I'll make sure that it gets sent and we show it next time around. The dates that I've been talking about are consistent with the dates on the schedule.
Just have one question about PG&E.
Mm-hmm.
Are they giving you any kind of timeline, or have you been able to connect with them at all about turning off the electricity?
The timeline they've given us is into next year, so that's not really going to be acceptable. So that's why we are working hard.
Still pushing.
Yeah.
Right.
So, we were informed today that, they're giving their employees 3 weeks of time off during the holidays, which is quite generous and not helping our effort. So,
Okay, I'll just ask. Thank you.
anything else?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And,
You'll be back in a few minutes.
yeah, well, I'm so pleased that, the recall, went the way it should have gone, which was, and, happy Thanksgiving to everybody too.
Okay, we're going to go on to number 12, action items. Okay, well, I guess you're still up there. Hey, workforce housing demolition contract. Hello.
So we took four bids from the demolition contractors, and we had a range of numbers as you've seen in the past. When we've done all the other bidding for the hazardous abatement and such, you've seen that there is a wide range. So the lowest bid was $215,000, and the highest bid was somewhere in the $600,000 range. So we're recommending RB Environmental. Folk on our internal team have had experiences working with RB Environmental in the past and have been very happy with their performance. And we have had discussions with them about the process, and they know what they need to do and are ready to get going.
Okay, are there any questions about the demolition contract? Okay, do I have?
I have one question. The difference between the highest and the lowest is a lot. And, just common sense would say, well, maybe I'll go for something in the middle. And so I'm just wondering if you can just give us some more detailed information of why you recommend the lowest bid.
Sure. Well, the first thing is the past experience we've had working with that contractor and that it's been very successful. The second issue is that we're trying to, get things happening and get things moving along. And there are some CUPCA, which is the organization that sort of creates the bidding requirements for the school district work, has some thresholds in terms of the process we need to go through to receive bids. And based on what we thought we would get back in terms of the low bidder, which is under the $220,000 threshold, this allowed us to informally bid the project and reach out directly to. What we did was we reached out to a number of the demolition contractors that actually responded to the last general contractor bid round. And this allowed us to keep it in that informal bidding range without having to go out and do a longer process, given that we wanted to accelerate it as much as possible. So really those two things were why we selected the low bidder. Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the district contracting with RB Environmental for demolition? Okay, I'll second.
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 12B, playground update for our elementary schools. Don't see a list on who's presenting.
Good evening. I am trustees. I'm here tonight to give you an update on our playgrounds at our elementary schools and to ask you to approve us to move forward with developing a plan to repair and replace the structures that are currently unsafe for our children. What we're going to cover tonight is how we got here. We're going to talk about a FIT report, the facility inspection tool, the play safe inspections that happened as a result of the FIT reports, what our next steps are, our proposed next steps are, and then asking for the approval. What are FIT reports? FIT report stands for a facilities inspection report, and every year all of our facilities, all of our schools get inspected. And typically what that means is that it's the actual building that gets inspected prior to school opening, and then we receive a report. So it's the physical facilities. It includes the electrical, the water, the carpets, the floors, everything, how everything is looking and functioning, the cleanliness of things, the safety, including, if materials are stacked too high, we get graded on it all, and then a report is given to us. And there's a percentage grade in all these particular areas, and then an overall grade. And you can see the results of the fit report on our school accountability report cards, or our SARC reports that get published every year at the end of the calendar year. And so typically the fit inspections are only around the school building, not in fields or the equipment's on the fields. And also interestingly, our playgrounds only get inspected one time in their lifetime, which is when they get put in. But for some reason, our fit inspector went and inspected our TK playgrounds over at Ortega and noticed that our TK playgrounds are designated for 5 to 12-year-olds and not for 4-year-olds. And having told our principal at the time, Ms. Romo, we decided that we should probably close the playgrounds. And we thought maybe until they were 5. So, and then in discussion with cabinet, we decided that maybe we should have all of our playgrounds inspected, because sometimes 5-year-old playgrounds actually measure fine for 4-year-olds. So we wanted to know if the 5-year-old playgrounds, the 5 to 12-year-old playgrounds, actually measured okay for 4-year-olds. So we decided we wanted to contract to figure out if that would work for us, if those playgrounds actually would be fine for 4-year-olds. So we contracted with PlaySafe Inspections, and they went out to all of our schools and inspected all of our playgrounds. And as you know, some of our playgrounds are very new, and some of our playgrounds are medium new, and some of our playgrounds are a little bit older. And what we found kind of surprised us is that all of our play structures are actually okay for the ages that they're built for, but the underlay, the things that they're built on top of, some of the underlay at 3 of our schools was actually installed improperly, and as such has condensed and is too hard for children to be playing on. It needed to be closed immediately. And so therein we have this problem. And talking with Cece Ming, our bond manager, she was saying that many of the play structures where the underlay is too hard are actually coming to the end of their life. So it would make sense, because you would have to take the play structure off and then put install the underlay properly, and then you'd put the older play structure back on. She says that it would actually make sense to take the old underlay off, install new underlay properly, and then replace it with a new play structure. So that it would be the plan. The play areas where we found the problems are at the Ortega play structures for the TKs. Sunset Ridge Ocean Shore had a play structure, and also Valamar. The details of those play structures were included in the board packet and are included so that the public can see the reports where with pictures of the underlay and the play structures. So the next steps would be to replace the underlay and the play structures where it's been unsafe. At Ortega, that would be replacing 2 play structures. We would replace one play structure as a 3-year-old to 7-year-old play structure so that TKs could play on that play structure. And then we would review and make sure that we had appropriate play structures for all, so that all grade levels of students can play on those play structures at all of our schools. And so that would be sort of the investigation of what we would be doing going forward. And so the recommendation is that we would recommend that the board would approve that the Director of Finance and the Director of Facilities and Maintenance and the bond manager begin developing a plan to present to you to replace the unsafe underlay and the play structures associated with those underlay areas at Ortega, Sunset Ridge and Ocean Shore, and Valamar Elementary Schools, and along with the cost of all of that. Any questions?
I have a question,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure if you can answer, maybe Cece can answer.
Here.
So, one thing about living on the coast is I always feel like we have to build everything like it's a boat. So, I guess what I'm wondering, because the underlayment has kind of continued to be a problem every 3 to 5 years. Oh, do we know, what's the best we can get as far as the underlayment? Like how, I just don't want to have to keep redoing this every few years, but I realize also things have a limitation. So I'm just curious what you know about that.
Based on my observation, I think the reason our playground failed, it was installed about less than 10 years ago. I remember it was back in 2014, 2015-ish. Is because at that time they installed it in a cheaper way, maybe because of the financial, availability at the time. So it was like just basically a 2-inch safety surfacing rubber mat installed directly over the existing asphalt. So if the drainage is not done properly, so if the water doesn't drain, it puddles and it damages those rubber surfacing, deteriorates very quickly. So I think those are the two reasons. First of all, it's not installed properly. Second of all, the thickness doesn't really meet the requirement. They cannot really build it too thick because then it'll have an ADA issue. So they have to use, because the proper way of doing it is really dug it down and make it flush, So I think those are the reasons. And second of all, the play structure also itself, like Martha was mentioning, is at the end of their service life, especially at Sunset Ridge school. So even though they might still last, let's say 2 years, 3 years, but who knows, but we don't want to install brand new surfacing and then end up have to dig it up and install a new play structure in a couple of years. So that's why the recommendation is replace them all together.
Okay, so it's the new surface, if we got to this place, would be more of a layered surface that
it'll be
maybe 4
like
to 6
3 inches
inches.
thick.
Okay.
I have a question. So can you not put an old play structure on top of a new surface?
No, the reason is they have footings. Those footings are encased in concrete.
Okay.
By the time you dig them out, clean them, it's not worth the effort.
Okay. I also have a question about the funding for this. Where is the funding for these play structures?
Yeah. So last time we talked to Dusty, and she mentioned that there are about 14 million left in the Measure O bond. My estimation, for the remaining bond is about I think 12 million for the remaining projects. And the additional money seems to come from the interest payment over time. But I don't have a very exact number from Dusty yet, but she basically told me we have 14 million. So we have like approximately $2 million, in the bond that come from the interest payment. I think we can cover it under the Measure O funding.
And it's in the master plan to redo these?
It's not.
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's
I
not.
see. Okay.
But then based on the available, Measure O funds from the interest payment. I think
Oh,
we
right.
can
Funds that
cover-
weren't used for things in the master plan are left that
Right.
we, oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
Thank
They're
you.
they're the interest payment. Because
Oh.
our master plan, we planned for 55 million, but there are extra money from the interest payment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
And so I think the thing that we've been getting a lot of calls on and our principals have been getting a lot of calls on would be the timeline. And so the timeline, if we move forward with being able to present you a plan and we move forward and everything goes really well, we would be able to break ground May, June, and be able to use these playgrounds starting in the next school year. And so unfortunately, the playgrounds would be closed for this school year. But that would, we would have something really great next school year. And we're doing the right thing by making sure that our playgrounds are, one, designed for the age group that they're meant for, and two, safe for our kids to play on.
I do want to add to the schedule part. anticipating installation in summer of 2026 is a very, very aggressive schedule. Because to replace this playground, we need to hire an architect and it needs a DSA review. So need to submit to DSA. So I do have a candidate. She's, that architect firm is pretty fast in terms of delivery, but still the schedule is very aggressive. We'll try to see, but I can't promise at this point because every time when you involve agency approval, it's always unpredictable, but we'll do our best. So our next step would be bring an architect on board, start to, designing and start the selection, the play structure selection process. And we do have a playground vendor, and their name is Compan. And when we were in the process of purchasing the play structure at Ocean Shore, which is also a site with very, very challenging rusting issues because of the proximity to the ocean. And ever since that play structure installed in 2 years, there's absolutely no signs of deterioration. So, and at the time when we were selecting that vendor, we went through an RFP process and we reviewed all the warranty, information and the product quality. And, so basically we have decided that vendor pretty much produced the best quality. So we would proceed with that vendor and purchase these play structure via a CMAS contract. And then, so that's how we purchased the play structure at this site. And then the architect will pretty much just use, that structure and produce their layout, ADA layout, and submit to DSA for approval. So that's the recommended next step.
I have a question. I just recently read something that I'll just read it. Glen Lake Elementary School in Hopkins, Minnesota successfully raised over $860,000 for a new fully accessible playground after students noticed their peers in wheelchairs were unable to play with them. So I'm just wondering if it's a possibility to have some kind of playground or something integrated into the playground for the children that are in wheelchairs.
Yeah. So all the play structures, there are certain parts of like certain components that are required to be ADA accessible. And the DSA is very strict on that. So with every play structure, they have to draw an egress plan, as well as identify which structure, the height of it is accessible for the kids. And then there's a quantity requirement governed by DSA. So feel assured that all of our new play structures meet strict ADA access requirement, not just the access to the structure itself, but also the playability for that structure for access, for those specialty kids.
So how would that look for somebody in a wheelchair? I'm just trying to.
There are ways that they design the play structures so that children with wheelchairs can access different parts of the structure. So there could be 11, a play structure that I worked on, a student in a wheelchair could access 11 parts of the play structure. There are also swings that can be a person who uses a wheelchair could go in and then access the swing to be able to use a swing. So we would look at those types of things so that parts, we meet the ratio for different types of disabilities are able to access different parts of the play structure. So there's like a formula around, that's what she means by playability.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sorry, I have another question.
Sure.
Is there a master plan for Measure G funds yet? And if we can't cover these play structures with what's left of Measure O, is it a possibility to use funds from Measure G?
Measure G is, yes, there's a master plan for Measure G, and we will not be able to use that
creative.
for playground.
Gotcha. Thanks. Okay, great. Thanks for clarifying.
Actually, can I add to that?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it okay? So we just need to know.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve proceeding with the plan to replace unsafe play surface structure and structure equipment?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It's needed.
Item 12C, Injury and Illness Prevention Program. Rachel Roma.
Good evening. We recently posted this injury and illness prevention program. It's a 15-page document, and I will talk about the 5 goals and just some of the components in it. Hopefully you had a chance to read it. But the 5 main goals of this program are to protect the health and safety of our employees, to reduce workers' compensation claims and costs, to improve efficiency by reducing time spent replacing or reassigning injured employees, improve employee morale and efficiency as employees see their safety as important to management. And the last goal is to minimize potential for penalties by maintaining compliance and health and safety with the health and safety codes. Different components that support these 5 goals, we have in the plan the compliance requirements, a plan for communication. We identify the workforce hazards, evaluating the hazards and the safe work practices, highlighting those. We have checklists for different staff members to complete to make sure that the building is safe. And we also have recommendation forms that other employees can fill out if they notice an unsafe hazard that their supervisor can review and we can fix in a timely manner. So I'm recommending that you approve this and adopt the Injury and Illness Prevention Plan for Pacifica School District.
Are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the Injury and Illness Prevention Program? Do I have a second?
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Okay. Item D, Comprehensive School Safety Plan, Pacifica School District, non-tactical. Dr. Ladd.
Okay, the comprehensive school safety plan non-tactical version is similar to the tactical version that you approved earlier in closed session. It outlines the various job responsibilities of people here in the district office. In the event of an emergency, it also lists different emergency personnel outside of the school district and in the event of an emergency in the for this district office. So since we moved here, we've had to rearrange our school safety plan so that we would our district office comprehensive safety plan to align with this facilities. So we have a new emergency map. We have a new plan for evacuation. We have a new places that we would evacuate to in the case we have to evacuate the building. So we've updated all of those types of things. We have new places where emergency supplies are located, those types of things. And then every year our non-public tactical plan needs to be updated based on the personnel that are currently here. So that's why that gets updated every year. So tonight we present to you our non-tactical portion, which is forward facing to the public for review and approval by the board.
Okay, are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the comprehensive school safety plan for the district office? Do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. Okay. Item E, District Office Facilities Conditions Assessment. Dr. Ladd and Cece.
Okay. I presented earlier in the school year facility facts report on the facilities at Reina Del Mar that said that we needed to do a more complete assessment of the building in order to be able to assess the safety of the building for our employees to be able to work there. CC Ming went ahead and provided to you 3 different quotes And the quotes are an assessment that includes the following scope of work: building exterior wall envelope condition assessment, including dry rot and water intrusion investigation, building electrical system condition assessment and adequacy evaluation, the building HVAC system condition assessment and adequacy evaluation, and then a cost estimate for required repair and upgrades. We received 3 proposals from ECS Pacific Inc., Interactive Resources, and Marks Okupu. The recommendation is to award the contract to Marks Okubu. The company has submitted a high-quality proposal with satisfactory qualifications and experience. The contract will be funded with Measure O funds. Are there any questions?
Any questions? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the district contracting with Marks Akubu to complete the district office assessment? Do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Item F, approval of updated TK through 5 principal position description. Rachel Romo.
So this is to approve an updated TK5 principal position. Like I said in the earlier meeting, we only had K through 5, and now TKs are at all of our TKs are at most of our sites. So we want to make sure that when we approve this, it'll have the duties that are specifically aligned with the developmental requirements unique to a TK class. So making sure that we support the selection of finding highly qualified leaders for our elementary schools. So I am recommending approving this new position that does support our TK through 5 schools.
Okay, are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the updated principal position description? Do I have a second?
Second. All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, item G, approval of middle school principal position description. Rachel Romo.
This one, we weren't able to find like a date of when we last approved this, so we wanted to definitely review this and make sure that it aligned with the current middle school needs that we're having at IBL. So this is just to be relevant to the modern middle school with the technology component, the Chromebooks, one-to-one, all of that, so that we have the right leader that's meeting these new job descriptions. So I'm recommending that we approve the update the middle school principal position description.
Any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the updated middle school principal position description? Do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Item H, approval of job description for confidential executive assistant, human resources. Rachel Romo.
So this is a new position to support the Human Resources Department. We are noticing a need for a confidential position in this department, somebody that can really help with labor negotiations, any investigations, paperwork like that, that's really sensitive. So we are hoping that with the approval of this position, it'll really reduce some of our legal reliance on lawyers to help us composing these notices and complete these investigations. So I am recommending approval of this new position.
I have a question. Just how can we justify spending the money on a new position in the district office?
We're hoping that with this paying this new position, we will no longer need to rely on the lawyers for the HR department. We won't need to lean on them as heavily as much because we are seeing that we're understaffed in this department right now. So somebody that can take the lead on helping us with negotiations, someone that can take the lead on helping us with any leaves or investigations, any really sensitive employee materials. That's something that we will not have to kind of contract out on. We can keep it within house.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the job description for confidential executive assistant, human resources? Do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 3. Oh, all against, raise your hand.
Oh, no.
Okay, motion passes 3-1.
Okay, item I, updated confidential salary schedule. Rachel Roman.
So with the approval of the new position, we wanted to update the salary schedule to reflect that. So the confidential salary schedule has been updated to include a salary schedule for this confidential executive assistant in HR.
Are there any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the updated confidential salary schedule? Do I have a second?
All against, please raise your hand. Okay, all in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you.
Item J, updated cabinet management salary for 2025-26. Rachel Romo.
This updated cabinet management salary schedule includes the position of director of finance. We were not able to have a CBO, and that was the position that was originally on here. So it has been reflected. It has been updated to reflect this new position.
Are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the job description for the updated cabinet management salary schedule? Do I have a second?
Please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Item K, resolution 2025-11-19-A, proclaiming November 14th as Ruby Ridge's Walk to School Day. Dr. Torres.
Good evening, Board President Bradal, trustees, and interim superintendent Dr. Bowman. The Board of Trustees is asked to adopt Resolution 2025-11-19A, which seeks to formally recognize the immense legacy of civil rights pioneer Ruby Bridges and reaffirm our district's unwavering commitment to equity, anti-racism, and inclusion. This resolution is inspired by the courage Ruby displayed on November 14th, 1960, when at the age of 6, she became the first African-American child to integrate an all-white school in New Orleans. Her story remains a powerful reminder that we must continue to combat discrimination and ensure inclusive education for every child. The concept for this day originated with local 5th grade students in South San Francisco who championed an event that not only honors Ruby's bravery, but also encourages students to be advocates for positive change in their own communities. Furthermore, this annual event promotes health and wellness by supporting safe routes to school, encouraging our community to walk or roll. I am pleased to report that all Pacifica schools participated in the Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day just last Friday, November 14th, 2025, which successfully reinforced these values across our district. The district also wishes to acknowledge the strong community partnership and the visible support of our local government during inaugural Walk to School Day. The following city leadership participated alongside our students and staff: Mayor Sue Beckmeyer, Vice Mayor Christine Bowles, Council Member Mary Beer, Council Member Mayra Espinosa, Council Member Greg Wright. Therefore, it is recommended that the board approve resolution number 2025-11-19A, proclaiming November 14th of each year as Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day throughout the Pacifica School District.
Are there any questions? I also heard that there was good participation from the Pacifica Police Department
Yes.
and support from them.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2025-11-19-A? Do I have a second?
Please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Okay. Item L, annual organization meeting date, set for December 16th. We are looking at changing our meeting in December from Wednesday the 17th so that we can all attend the county school board meeting. So we will be we're looking to change our board meeting to Tuesday, the 16th, so that we will all be freed up to go and attend the county school board meeting. And are there any questions about that? Okay, do I have a motion to adopt Tuesday, December 16th as the annual organizational meeting? Do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Item M, Board of Trustees Superintendent's recap and future agenda items. Thoughts, anyone? Too late in the evening, okay. Superintendent, no?
Thank you.
No, thank you. Okay, well, I guess we'll adjourn, well, I'll assume that clock's right. Adjourn the meeting at 7:24 PM.